Hello, welcome to the Flux Dev meeting for April 4th. Can we start with introductions?
Sure, we have a newcomer. Yay! Hi, Ami. Tell us a little
Hi,
about you.
Fox. Hi, Fox. My name is Amin. This is, I believe, my first time in the Flux meeting. I was speaking with Sule last week, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you drop by the community meeting?" So, thank you for bringing me in here. Quick things about me. I work for AWS. I mainly work on controllers and open source, and lately I've been working on some OCI things, and I was like, why not just also like dive into Flux CD and see how they do things, and maybe I can contribute back. So from my conversation with Sule last week is that I have a few things on my plate right now. Hopefully, like things in Q3, so I will not impact the plans right now. And yeah, I'm just like diving little by little in the code base and trying to help around OCIs and AWS parts of Flux CD. Yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
Very cool.
Welcome.
Hey, Stefan.
Oh, hi, Stefan.
Victor, I see you're here. Did you have any items for the agenda?
Nothing. I just wanted to join to see if there's anything I can help with, but nothing specific.
As you know, I've gathered people who are interested in being guinea pigs for GitLab's use of Flux. We were just at KubeCon Paris, and the handful of additional people raised their hand to say, yes, we're interested. They're all GitLab users and Flux users, so they were interested to join that. So yeah, as soon as you have some kind of process you like, I'm happy to, we can, I guess, start those calls whenever works for you.
This sounds amazing. Let's sync in an email, and yeah,
cool.
That's really good. Thank you.
So Steve's not here. Steve Wade's not here, but put items on the agenda to be discussed. And then I just put some agenda items regarding KubeCon Paris. Do you guys want me to just do the KubeCon Paris part?
Let's talk a little bit about the GitLab.
Sure. Kick it off.
So, Victor, would your team would like to take on the GitLab Bootstrap part of Flux?
That's the question that I asked them as well earlier this week. It's tricky because it's a public recording. I want them to give the chance to make this decision. I expect a yes, but it's not decided yet because it's on the engineering side that they have to say, that Timo is the only GitLab engineer to this date who contributed to Flux, parts of the Bootstrap. And I would love to have another engineer who actually is familiar with Flux at the code base level. And together with my engineering manager counterpart, we are working on that right now. So likely yes. Please give us some time.
Okay, cool. So there are some.
I think I wanted to say, if you have issues, ping me always on them, and we slowly get in there. I think that can help.
Yeah, so start by searching GitLab into the Flux to open issues. There are all the new issues open that we haven't answered to. There are, I don't know how much of the GitLab user base is on GitHub reporting issues, or if they also report issues to you directly on GitLab. I don't know.
Not with respect to Flux.
Okay. So some people are very vocal and aggressive about the fact that our Bootstrap command is not fit for GitLab users. I don't know how representative are these people. I'm also quite annoyed by their comments. Bluntly incorrect or stuff like that. Yeah, anyway, if you could look at these issues, it would be great. I'm going to paste one here.
I did a search and
Um,
linked it for myself. Thank you.
Yeah, so the idea is that we have historically we started with GitHub and the generic Bootstrap Git command, and we continued with GitLab and Bitbucket using the same interface as for GitHub. So the arguments of Bootstrap are repository, owner, and people are complaining there is no such thing as a repository on GitLab, there is no such thing as an owner, right? I'm guessing GitLab has project and owner is, I don't know, group, but it can be like this
Yeah.
many layers deep
Groups,
URL
exactly.
path, right? So because of, I don't know, the naming, also there is a way to you can have a personal token, but you belong in a group, and then you can also have a group token, and people struggle like which type of token should I generate, why it doesn't work with a personal token, and so on, right? So maybe, I don't know, I'm okay with deprecating these arguments, coming up with, from your side, with a RFC, with a proposal on how to make the UX better for GitLab users.
Okay.
If that's the case, I'm not sure if 3 people have upvoted this issue that was opened April last year, if they are representative for all the GitLab users, or maybe others have faced the same issues and they somehow figure out what to put in those flags. But to me, it's a sign that we should at least try to address this somehow, either through better docs on the Flux CD website under GitLab. So we have a dedicated page for GitLab Bootstrap and also on the GitLab docs. But
Yeah.
I'm also open to, if your team comes with a better proposal on how to name flags, or maybe drop them, maybe owner shouldn't be there at all, and I don't know, should be
Yeah,
something
call
like
it whatever.
GitLab
Yeah.
path or whatever. A single string that you have all those things that I'm not
Okay.
sure I quite understand. So that will
Perfect.
be something to look for. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you as well.
Cool. Okay, Tamu, sorry for.
It's fine. No, that's important. It's good to hear. All right, so I'm giving the update from KubeCon Paris, not the full update, but the update of the update. So a core of us were there. It's really, really great. We had a lot of coordinated things. I think most of our activities you can still see on the fluxcd.io/KubeCon site that Kingdon very kindly helped to make possible. And so I'll be putting together a blog post that highlights all the great things that we did at the event that are mostly listed there, as well as it looks like the talk video links are out already, which is pretty fast. There's some great photos. I haven't gone through all the official KubeCon professional photos, as well as I was really excited that, I was running around behind the scenes doing analyst press relations stuff, and Forbes interviewed Stefan, and that came out during KubeCon. So we'll put that all together in a blog post that I'll target for mid-April. So also the core of us after this call, like Stefan, Sule, who did lots of work at the Flux booth, really appreciate that, Kingdon as well, and Lee. So we'll be huddling right after this just to do a post-event recap, review. If anybody wants to join, you're welcome to stay on, but it'll be mostly us just kind of going through the details of what we can do for the next event, what worked, what do we want to develop. And I think that is the most part. So yeah, look forward to the blog post coming out, as well as anybody want to participate in future KubeCon Flux activities. We have the next KubeCon in Salt Lake City. So what I'll be doing is what I usually do is reach out, gather within the Flux users and ecosystem to collaborate on the call for papers. So if anybody would like help on putting together a submission, I'll help for that for Salt Lake City. And then next year's European event will be in London. So that's very exciting. So that's what is up next for KubeCon activities. I should mention that there is an open source summit that features the co-located event GitOps Con. That will be in Seattle, I think next month, but at least the core of us, like community maintainers, we're pretty much focused on the KubeCons just because it's a lot of travel. But
I
thankfully,
think it's now,
yes.
15 April.
Sorry? Oh, is it now?
It's-
I'm sorry. Is it April? I was confused. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
put the
it's
dates if anybody's interested.
11 days.
Thankfully, Pinky and Joaquin, who are within our Flux family, are speaking and have been, at least Pinky was one of the committee members and so has been deeply involved in GitOpsCon. So good Flux representation there, but I won't be there. So that's it for KubeCon and events update. So I think next Steve Wade had put some agenda items to be discussed.
Oh. Can you paste the link to the agenda every time?
It's in the middle. Sorry, it's between the GitLab section and my section. It kind of got squeezed. Do you see on the agenda? It's 2 links for Terraform provider issues.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Segmentation violation and the other one. Had no time to look into this. Oh yeah, can move forward.
Okay. Was there another item on the agenda?
Oh, we should say, Tamo, I don't know if you are aware, but around KubeCon, so Kingdom has updated the resources page, and we have all the talks there were really focused on Flux. I don't think we should add here talks that have Flux somewhere, but it's not about Flux. So there are 6 talks here, the recording of those. So I'm guessing all of or most of these can go into the blog post.
Okay.
Just a heads up that there we already have them on the resources page.
Yeah, cool. think Sule had a topic for Helm controller.
Let's have topic, but the topic is about the Helm controller. At the moment, I'm working on a new feature that is about using an OCI repository object or customer story as a reference into a Helm release. What this will change is that we won't need anymore to have a chart template in the Helm release, and we can save the amount of Helm chart resources that we have in the cluster. One thing though is getting longer than I expected, because the one thing that we want to enable is to make sure that we detect a digest change in the OCI artifact that is pulled by the OCI repository. And the difference is that with Helm charts, we just have the Helm version. So as long as we have the same version, there's no change. With an OCI artifact, we have a digest. So even if we have the same Helm version, the digest can change. And we want to make sure we account for that. And so what I have done is we have also in the Helm release status, we have this, what we call a snapshot. And for every release attempt, we have a new snapshot that is created. And the way that the Helm controller decides whether it should upgrade or roll back is based on this snapshot. So it pulled the release from the secret, the last release, compare it with the snapshot that it's had, and decide whether it should have a new action. So in order to do that, I needed to have the digest in the snapshot as well. But now I have an issue with the verification, because from the Helm release, from the release that it takes from the secret, it computes a new snapshot and verify the digest of the snapshot. But Helm itself is not aware of OCI artifact digest. So in the release from the Helm side, we don't see that. So the trick I have is, before doing the verification, the digest verification, I add all the digest from the snapshot into the new one that is computed to make sure the verification pass. But that's dirty. So we have to think about that and see what we can do on that side. I'm sorry, yeah, that's quite technical, but at least Stefan, I think, because he was looking at the pull request, understand what I mean.
Yeah, I see two issues here on the current. I don't know if is the comment that you added 5 hours ago with the upgrade example accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are two things. One, where we store the OCI digest, it only contains the hex value, not the, it does not contain the SHA type.
Fix that. Let's
Okay,
fix.
so my ask is to post another comment with install upgrade
Okay, I can do that.
again, so I can see. Okay, so that's it. So so the second issue that you also mentioned is that, so now the chart version everywhere it's tracked is no longer just Semver. It has also the build extension of Semver, where we use the first, I don't know, 12, 10 characters of
12.
the
12
digest,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
So, but in the storage, in the Helm storage, we only have the Semver, right? So that's
Yes.
why. So storage only has the Semver.
No. Because now I make the change. Once I pull the Helm chart, if it's an OCI repository, I make sure to change the chart version into the Helm chart metadata to have the chart version plus the first digit of the digest to make sure that and then this will be persisted into the storage to make sure we don't have any issue with that. But that's not enough, because then you want to do notification when you want to be able. You told me, and that's true about the promotion pipeline, because once that's done, you have notification with the notification controller that are sent, and you want to make sure when you send a notification and this is used somewhere to change, let's say the OCI repository or something, we need to make sure we have the digest in full, not only the 12 digits. And in order to do that, it means that I have to persist the digest as well somehow. So I persist it into the snapshot. But if I do that, I persist that digest into the snapshot, I have a difference between the snapshot and the release that is in the storage. So when I do the verification and make sure that it's the same, well, it's no longer, it fails now. So the trick I have is that before doing the verification, I add the digest from the snapshot into the one I compute from the storage. And then I do the verification to make sure it's the same snapshot digest.
Okay, I get it now. Because we can't, so in the storage, we can't add.
No, you cannot. You have to change the Helm SDK if you want to do that. And this is a no-go.
Can we annotate the secret, the storage?
Oh, well, I guess we could do something like this. But I mean, yeah, well, okay. I'll see what we can do. But
Like what you are doing now is like you copy the
copy the
state
digest.
from
Yeah,
and then
from
you
the
compare
snapshot.
it, so it's basically
from the snapshot. I
yeah,
take the
it's
snapshot
the two-way
digest.
comparison, right?
Yeah.
You, instead of just comparing cluster state with last known state, you compare cluster state with a little bit of last known state with the last known state, right?
Yes.
What I'm suggesting is, I don't know how complicated it will make all of this, but we could annotate the Helm storage, the Kubernetes secret, with the same key that we use for the event, OCI digest. We put it on the secret. Then when we compare the content of the storage, we also look,
I have the annotation. Okay.
right? And then you actually compare cluster state to last known state.
Yes. That's not ideal as well, because anyway, because everyone can just change the annotation into the secret. I mean, anyway,
anyone
you can
change
do
the content in the secret.
Yeah, anyway,
so
you can do
it
it,
doesn't
but
matter.
this is way easier to do than changing the storage of the snapshots in itself.
And what will happen if you change it? It will trigger an upgrade, right?
Yes. So you will have continuously upgrading.
No, because on the next upgrade will reflect the annotation, right?
Yes. Yeah, if you don't keep changing it, yeah, it will just trigger an update.
Yeah, I see no issue. I mean, if you can change the annotation on the secret, you can also change the content of the secret. You have write access on the secret, so you can mess up with anything in the state, right?
That's true. Yeah. Well, I'll try that. Let me think about it a bit more. But
Okay.
that's the last thing I see. Apart from that, now it's short time. Yep.
Cool.
I'm done. Yeah. That was it for me.
So for the next Flux minor release, looks like Kubernetes is on schedule. they have done 2 release candidates until now, RC0 and RC1 for 130. So the takeaway for me next week is to build kubelet and Kubernetes API and all the images from upstream and run the end-to-end test suite with RC1 and see if there are any issues. If that's okay, then I will create an issue for upgrading all the Flux dependencies to 130. And I don't know, maybe I should try the RC in Flux package and see if it breaks controller runtime or any other component that we have. And if that goes okay and there is no breaking change in Kubernetes 130, we can actually do a Flux 2.3 release end of this month, as we promised. But this means we have to get the OCI repo in Helm controller and the Helm chart usage. And that's on you, Sule. Are you good with it? So basically 2 more weeks. Sule, you're muted.
Frozen in contemplation.
I don't think he can hear us.
He probably doesn't want to hear. He has only 2 weeks left. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so hopefully if everything goes okay, we are going to do the Helm GA release end of this month. That's it from me.
Okay.
Sule,
Oh, go ahead.
Sule, can you hear us? Not sure what's going on. I
We must have lost Sule.
think so. It's not
Anyway,
frozen.
You can see him blinking.
I know he's not frozen. He just
oh,
okay. I was wondering if Sule was so shocked by your suggestion that he didn't know what to say. I was wondering what's
anyway, that is the last item on the agenda, right? So, oh, here comes Sule.
Sule, can you hear us now?
Hello, do you hear
Okay.
me?
We were
Yeah.
so perplexed.
Because I was talking, but no one was responding. So Stefan was saying that in 2 weeks' time, we are targeting the new version, new manual in 2 weeks' time. And then we were talking about MGA, but then I lost it.
Yeah, I was asking if you are comfortable with 2 weeks time for finalizing the OCI
Yeah.
repo, PR, and the Helm chart.
Yes, the hand chart, I don't think there will be any issue. Those who are if you fix this small issue that we have at the moment, then because I have already tested it, switching between chart and chart template, trying to bake things, making the promotion as well. I think all this is fine. It's just a verification process at the moment. And then having a chart reference that is the Helm chart. Well, it doesn't change anything on the way that we do things from today because it's still a Helm chart. So I think
Yep.
that's fine. The thing that I see is that there is a lot of documentation to be written. So this might take some time.
Yeah, also
That's why.
guides and stuff like that, right? For the OCI.
Yeah, I'm talking about guides mainly for OCI, for notation. As well, we need guide. Jason said that he has started working on the Flux secret notation, and he will submit it. He will submit a pull request tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, 2 weeks is not enough for docs. Anyway, let's see where we are in 1 week from now, and make a list with all the docs changes so we can maybe ask help from other people to rewrite them.
I mean,
It's,
the
it's quite a lot.
notation that we could start it and do everything manually with notation CLI. And then once we will have the Flux create notation secret, we could change only the part which is about creating the secret.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about all the Helm docs that needs to be changed. Also, oh no, Sunny already had updated the docs for image automation.
Yeah. Well, I have this
Yeah,
running
okay.
for 2 weeks. I have the image automation running for 2 weeks now. I haven't approved the pull request, but I don't see any issue on my machine.
Cool. Yeah, I also have to run it on the cluster. Okay. So he's not scared. He's okay. We were wondering if we're so like, oh, 2 weeks, boom.
Yeah.
No, all good. Anything else, or we should close earlier?
I just want to link to GitHub issues real quick. Those are like the things I picked for Q3. Hopefully I'll be able to ship them. Sorry, like the last one is injects an extra character. Yeah, I'm taking those for Q3. Hopefully I get them on time. Sule is helping me a lot exploring the code and knowing what to do. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, maybe I'll take more. I don't know. That's a good little start for me.
Yeah, Max has done some work on the digest for the image reflector. So that's already a pull request there. I don't know. Yeah, let's get on a meeting with Max as well after 2.3 release. But I suggest if you want to start with something, start looking at the caching of the tokens. I think that's something that can be done without impacting any current work. Is I think the last one that you linked.
Yeah, the last one you put
Yeah.
642. I think for that one, what I was telling, I mean, like he can speed the pull request and do caching maybe only for the
Yeah.
AWS part to start with.
Yeah, and only about caching, not everything else, which is
Yeah.
in that. Yeah.
Because the existing pull request has many things in it.
Yeah, it does a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Thanks, Amin.
Yeah, sure. I will not do anything without like pinging you folks. I don't want to walk on anybody's steps. I'll just like drop a message on the Flux Slack and collaborate with you folks to do things smoothly.
Yeah, there is also a Flux contributors channel. which is
I think I've
low.
seen it.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
in
that
CNCF,
crazy as
right?
the Flux one. Yes, and we
Yeah,
can talk there because it's not like we don't have like hundreds of messages like in the other stack. So, if you talk about contributions, that's the best place there.
sweet. Yeah, I'm in it right now.
Okay, anything else?
Might be a good time to mention we opened the Flux ecosystem channel also on the CNCF Slack. Other than that, I don't have anything. Okay. All right, thanks for joining, everyone.
Right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fox.
See you
Cheers.
next week. Bye.
See you at the top of the hour for the KubeCon talk.